Hey guys, SAIYAN here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to talk about the Vegeta Saiyan Day banner, as we always do whenever a new banner is going to come out, and ask the all-important question, summon or skip. So we know a little bit of the banner. We can see this is the art for it that was in the actual data download, so this is what the banner will look like in the game, which obviously does tell us a little bit about the lineup. Some of it is still unknown, but we can piece together most of the banner just from this. Nothing from the image is really a huge surprise, right? We have the new Saiyan Day unit, Vegeta, the side banner unit, King Vegeta. We know that Saiyan Day is always the return for the first time of the Tanabata LR. So there on Vegeta's, well, it's Vegeta's left. On our right is the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku that transforms into full power Super Saiyan 4. That will be his first time returning. And then, of course, we have in the background there God Goku, who was last year's Saiyan Day unit. And then we have Majin Vegeta, who was the Saiyan Day unit from the year before that, as the Saiyan Day banner very often does stretch back to a few of the years previous. In fact, if we switch over to the actual wiki view here and take a look at last year's banner, so last year's Saiyan Day banner for God Goku, as you can see, the art's kind of the same thing, right? God Goku, there's his side banner unit, the Tech Vegeta, the Tanabata LR, the Vegeta and Trunks, and then in the background, Majin Vegeta was the previous Saiyan Day unit before him, and then Broly was the one before Majin Vegeta. So if we take a look at the banner, the format will be very similar to this. I mean, the format will be the same, right? This is 8 featured SSRs, one of which is a Dokkan Fest exclusive LR. And you can see we have the 2 new characters and then 6 returning characters. So we're going to have Vegeta, King Vegeta, LR Super Saiyan 4, Goku, God Goku, Majin Vegeta, and then you can see as we look at the other units on the banner, Bardock is a previous Saiyan Day character. But I feel like he's probably the one that's going to get dropped off, right? So we probably will see Int Broly still on the banner. So that pretty much gives us, what, 6 out of the potential 8 characters. So we are going to have Vegeta, King Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, God Goku, Majin Vegeta, and then Broly. So that's 6. We need 2 SSRs remaining. Now, Minato was saying on the podcast on Friday night, which I think is kind of interesting, that we could have the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku on here, because there's nothing in the data download about like a Super Easy A banner or Super Easy A tickets, because Global usually does get tickets for pretty much every kind of banner now. So if AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku isn't getting his own kind of return Easy A banner, then it's very possible that he could be featured on this banner as well, which would be pretty cool to give people a chance to get him if you're a newer player and don't have him, or even people like myself. Like, I'm an older player, I've got the Goku Rainbow Link level 10 everything, but with the details of his Super Easy A now being available, I basically want to completely change the hidden potential system for my one, which means for me, pulling a bunch of extra copies of him would actually be quite useful, because then I don't have to spend any stones in order to reset his hidden potential. And then you can see here we have on the banner, as it is last year, we had the Raditz, who was a bit of a random addition into the banner. I think his equivalent in terms of at least when he came out in the time slot on JP would be the AGL Kale. I would probably expect the unit to be either Vegeta family or Super Saiyan character, because of the leader skill for the Tech Vegeta. So, I mean, Tech Super Trunks, maybe. Of course, for Global, he only came out in January, so it would be a very quick return for him. But he's a decent unit for the Tech Vegeta team. Vegeta is kind of a big buff for him, being another Android/Cell Saga character. So yeah, the last couple of slots on the banner are something that we are not quite aware of, but for the most part, unless AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku is there, which is good because he's now being updated, the last couple of slots we don't know are just going to be the older units that, you know, some older Dokkan Fest exclusives that realistically are not the units that you're summoning on the banner for, right? They're not the units that you want to get when you do the summons. They're just going to be there to fill out the banner roster. So, is the banner going to be worth summoning on? So we already know that Vegeta and the King Vegeta unit, I think, are both pretty good. I mean, I say pretty good. King Vegeta's pretty good. Tech Vegeta's very good. I mean, he drops on Global just instantly as the best TUR. He probably is on JP as well. So in terms of the actual strength of the new unit, definitely very, very powerful. The big thing, of course, is going to be there's a huge delineation now between global and JP. We're going to be syncing up by the end of the year, or by worldwide, hopefully. But for JP's already had the anniversary, which was big, big success, lots of good units. Beast Gohan drops in part 2 as basically the best unit in the game. So for global players, the general consensus has been to save everything until that banner comes out. And, you know, any unit that drops that isn't as good as Beast Gohan, which, let's face it, is not going to happen before the anniversary, is a unit that people are going to consider skipping. And this new Vegeta, he is very, very good. But if we take a look at, you know, the other units on the banner that we know of, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he was a bit of an unfortunate spot on global because he released after the worldwide celebration, and he's not particularly good in the worldwide celebration content, right? The Dismal Future Red Zone, events that just started off hitting that hard straight away in slot 1, really not good for him as a unit who wants to be in slot 1 but wants to get hit to get built up a little bit. So it's something that you know, was a bit awkward for him. But with the anniversary content, a lot of that stuff is slightly longer events that are not as punishing right at the start. Therefore, it's a lot easier for this Goku to get his hits in. And then when you get into the harder stage, you can transform into the standby with Oob, just tank everything while giving everyone a defensive buff, and then on the next turn transform into the actual full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who is incredibly powerful. So he is a unit that, like I say, bit of a shaky start on global. When he came out on JP, he was very, very good because the worldwide celebration content wasn't out, so he dominated all the events that were in the game at the time. But he does get a little bit of a comeback for the anniversary content. So for global players, if you didn't pull him or you only managed to get the one copy, being able to get him now that he's finally returning is definitely very, very good. And then, of course, we know that God Goku is on the banner. I mean, God Goku remained being one of the best TURs in the game for a very, very long time. It's only really now with the anniversary level content that you really start to notice, like, even if you're getting the 6 orbs and you're getting the guard, if he doesn't dodge an attack, he can still start to take some pretty big damage. And when it comes to the big super attacks from the big bosses, he's going to get straight up killed, even after a few turns of stacking and even with that guard. But he's still very, very good. A unit that has a 60% chance to dodge, good link set, builds up by attacking, has the guard. You know, he's tanking normals relatively well after build up, even if he doesn't dodge. But a lot of it is with some of these bigger bosses for the anniversary, especially the ones that get their attack boost when they super, if they're then landing some of these normals on him, it starts to get a bit more scary. But I mean, sometimes, you know, dodge RNG characters are always going to be risky, but God Goku absolutely still can clutch it up for you if he does indeed get those dodges. So he's a very good unit on the banner. Anyone who doesn't have him, like, fully maxed out, definitely a good pull if you are getting him from the banner. And funnily enough, the Majin Vegeta is actually still kind of good, right? I mean, not really surprising when, as long as you're getting the orbs for him, and you have a Trunks on the team, he has 50% damage reduction. 50% damage reduction, always going to be pretty good. His post-super defense is relatively decent. He's on the 200% leader skill for the new Vegeta. Of course, you do need a Trunks on the team for him to be at his full potential, but we'll see what happens in terms of, like, the easy A's for Saiyan Day. I did do a video for that earlier today, so check that out if you haven't seen it. But yeah, Majin Vegeta can still be quite good, and he definitely will still be pretty good on Vegeta's team. So, the banner, as we know it, is looking like this. Like I say, we do need to have the last couple of units filled out, but the big question, summon or skip, like I say, it's very different for global or JP. Now, one thing for global, as we always mention in these videos, if you are someone who does spend on the game, it is confirmed that there are going to be tickets for the Vegeta banner. This is one of those great things for global. Even when the sync happens, it's very unlikely we will lose these tickets that you can buy, because, you know, this is an example right now of a same time celebration where we're getting the same banner, we're getting the same new unit, but global is getting ticket packs and JP is not. So if you're someone who spends money on the game and you do want to try summoning for Vegeta, tickets are always better value than stones. I try and explain this every time, right, that you get more units overall for the money you spend if you buy the ticket packs than if you were to just buy stones. The summoning is still RNG at the end of the day. Like, I've had terrible luck on tickets. I think the Gohan and Piccolo banner, I used all the ticket packs and didn't get a single featured unit. So sometimes the luck can be terrible, but then, you know, I pulled the Ribrienne LR and I pulled Rose off of tickets. So the luck can be hit or miss, just like with stones. If you're someone who wants to summon for Vegeta and you do spend, then these are definitely worth picking up. But for the rest of people out there, this is a difficult banner for me to say easy skip, right? Because for Global, we had Trunks, we had the Tournament of Power Androids, we had Gohan and Piccolo. Most of them were fairly easy skips. The Tournament of Power Androids had a little bit of future value because of all the easy A's we know we're getting from the anniversary for making that Universe 7 team really, really strong. And I think that's where a lot of the temptation is going to lay for this Vegeta, because Vegeta comes out, he's the best TUR. His team on Global is a bit shaky, but on JP is definitely very good because of all the buffs that happened for the anniversary. So if you want to throw some stones at this banner and you actually do manage to pull Vegeta, then you go back to saving everything for the anniversary, and then you pull, like, you know, most if not all of the anniversary headline units. Like, both of the part 1, especially Broly and Gogeta, are both going to be super, super good on this Vegeta team. I think the Broly gets the 200%. I'm not sure if Blue Gogeta does, actually. I need to double check whether Blue Gogeta is actually on Mastered Evolution, because if he is, then he'd be on the 200% leader skill as well. But that team will be very, very good. So kind of like the androids, this Vegeta team will be a bit of an investment for the anniversary if you're a global player. So if you do manage to pull a copy of him, his team might be a bit shaky now, although of course that could be shored up very easily depending on the easy A's we get for this celebration. But then his team's going to be really, really good by the time the anniversary comes out. And then when the anniversary content starts dropping, you're going to be able to clear all of that content with his team. So I personally think this unit is really good. I'm really excited to summon for him as a Vegeta fan. I know other Vegeta fans out there are very excited that we finally have a really good standalone Vegeta. So, you know, when it comes down to it, it's like a lot of these summons. If you want to summon for him because you love Vegeta, you want to summon for him because he's such a good unit, I would say he's definitely not a bad unit to drop some stones on. You just have to very much be aware of the content that's coming out in the future. And as I always say when we do these summon or skip videos, right, this advice is more so aimed at people who are free to play or who don't spend a lot of money on the game, where you have to try and manage your stones to get the most value. Because if you go all in and spend every stone you have on this Vegeta, remember we are in the middle of March and the anniversary is in July, so we've basically got, what, just 3 to 4 months until the anniversary. It's just over 3 months until the anniversary, like, officially starts. So if you're someone who's free to play, a lot of these mini celebrations that we're going to get in between. Now, we are going to get the New Year Dual Dokkan Fest, and then, of course, we'll get Golden Week. But we're not going to get a crazy amount of stones between now and the anniversary. And, of course, the same problem is going to be repeated with Golden Week, where that's going to be another same time celebration with 2 new units who could also be incredibly good and work really well with the anniversary headliners, work really well for the anniversary content. So you've really got to sort of plan ahead when it comes to global. And it doesn't even mean for, like, the foresight, right? And this is the last year that we're going to have this issue, but it's just more so the fact that, like, even without global foresight, right, when the games are fully synced, if you're free to play or you don't spend much on the game, you should kind of always know that your priorities should be the anniversary and the worldwide celebration, and that's kind of it. And if you want to drop a few stones on a few of the banners in between, you can do that on maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3 of the filler Dokkan Fests throughout an entire year, but you can't be going, like, all in on everything and then still expecting to be getting, you know, all the top headline anniversary or worldwide units. So Vegeta is definitely a unit worth summoning for. If you're someone who's going to mostly skip part 1 of the anniversary and save everything for Beast Gohan, we do get a lot of stones during the first part of the anniversary. So if you wanted to drop some multis on this Vegeta banner, I could definitely see him as a unit that is worth doing some summons for. He is by no means whatsoever an easy skip, right? I think a lot of people potentially should skip him if you're free to play, saving for the anniversary, but he is not an easy skip whatsoever. He is a very, very good unit. I'm really looking forward to hopefully pulling him and the King Vegeta and taking him into a bunch of the different events and then having his team get all those buffs from the anniversary and potentially get some nice buffs from the EZAs from this celebration as well. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you going to be summoning for Vegeta? Let me know if you are a global or a JP player and how that's affected your decision. But yeah, I think this banner is going to be worth dropping some summons on, worth getting the tickets if you spend money, but obviously don't go too crazy on global because the anniversary is coming up. If you're on JP, you know, it's a similar boat where we have Golden Week coming up in just over a month's time and we don't know what that's going to be. But then for JP, the next big thing will be the Tanabata, which is in July. So they also have to worry about what's coming out in July as well. So you guys let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Are you summoning? Are you skipping? I, of course, will be live tomorrow morning when the banner comes out. It comes out at 6:18 UK time. In terms of global, it's basically just 12 minutes before banners usually come out. And I know for JP, it's a bit earlier than that, right? It's almost 2 hours earlier than usual. But I will be live. Hopefully, I'll see you guys there. Hopefully, we'll get good luck. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.